Hello, this is the first episode of Big Brain Time Debates. I'm just dropping in this little introduction because when we recorded the episode, we didn't have the series title, and because I realized that we didn't give context for what the debate was about. The Jar Jar we refer to is a much hated character from the Star Wars movie series. And enjoy the show. Alright.
Seth, you talk too loud. See? I won real red.
That's a future debate topic.
Hello! Oh gosh, that's loud. Okay. We're gonna have to be in our NPR voices today. We're here on... We don't have a name yet, because Jared over here isn't so sure he likes dunce debates.
I like to respect my own, ability. I like to respect...
Jared.
I like to have some respect. What?
Jared.
What?
No, just stop being a scrub.
Alright, so we should all introduce ourselves. You've already got an introduction to Jared.
Yeah, my name is Jared, and I'm an English and history major. So I like to fight people. With my words. I'm a
Great.
pacifist.
Alright, and...
I'm Kyle. I'm a man.
Wow.
Yeah, history major and digital media major, so I got you on some. I also have good knowledge of pop culture stuff, so I got you there.
And Ira.
Yeah, I'm Ira. And I'm human, at least I'm pretty sure I am. And I'm a psych major. So...
He's going to analyze all of us.
You can hear that beautiful rumbling noise in the background. I'm going to try to edit that out after, but if it's not, oh well, that's how it's going to go for now.
Oh, that's loud.
My name is Seth. I am a film major. This podcast all started because me, Jared, and Ira one day were debating whether or not Star Wars Episode 1 was relevant to the Star Wars movie saga.
It is, by the way.
It absolutely is not.
It
and
is.
I won. After about 2 hours.
I'm not even... See, the sad thing is I'm not even a huge Star Wars fan, and you somehow dragged me into a 2-hour debate on whether or not the Phantom Menace is relevant.
And I am very proud.
I would just like to let it be known that I was not there at this debate, so I kind of jumped on the boxcar late. You could
Yeah.
say.
Kyle was a later addition, but a valued addition.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'll tarnish my credibility here, just for clarification, but I'm not a huge movie person. Like, as in I don't know a whole lot about the making of movies, but I do know a lot about storyline, which will help maybe develop my ethos a little bit more.
Yeah.
But if I want to tarnish my credibility anytime we talk about movies, I should say that I'm not much of a movie person.
Hey, you're good, bro.
So
nice.
these are not
Thank you.
all going to be pop culture debates, but all these debates have to be stupid and irrelevant. That is my rule with these topics.
Sounds good.
You said pop culture was always stupid and irrelevant.
I'm not. I'm saying I'm saying the status quo being set by this first podcast is very pop culture based. Our next debate may be over French fries, which I have that topic all lined up.
Sounds delicious.
I could just argue all day about why you shouldn't call French fries French.
Oh, good point.
Oh, that
Ooh.
could be...
Ooh.
Okay.
Belgian fries.
So, we should probably get to our topic by now.
Oh, also, should we just clarify what the purpose of this is? If there really is much of a purpose, really?
There's no purpose for everything.
I mean, I would say on the one hand, there's intrinsically some kind of purpose to things like this, to things that are silly, and there's a difficulty to understanding what it is, and that's half the beauty of it, you know. But also, it's bonding with the boys, and it's gonna help me with my audio skills, which is something I've struggled with for a long time. It's just a little extra thing to do on the side, and something to look forward to throughout the week. So, even if no one listens to it, hopefully we can make this podcast for us.
And
Deep.
also,
I like that.
something to point out is that we assign each other what topics we'll be arguing for, kind of like lawyers. So whatever we argue might not necessarily be what we personally agree with. It's just what we've found to be. I don't know. We just assign each other like the topic that we're supposed to argue for. So I might not necessarily be arguing for the side that I support or believe in, which kind of does make this a little bit more funny.
Yeah. So part of that absurdity is definitely that we're arguing out of the sake of argument, less anything else, and that's partially so tempers don't flare and all that. So anyway, our current debate topic: Jar Jar Binks. Is he good or is he bad? And we can take this on a multitude of fronts. We have about 25 minutes now.
Please be polite. Comment section in the comments below.
I don't even know what platform we're using.
Who knows? But hey,
Just
be kind out
Just
there.
do multiple
viewers.
platforms, but definitely put it on YouTube.
Kyle,
Then I'll make 1,000 fake accounts and then have I argue with myself in the comment section.
Kyle, if this is going on the internet, clearly you don't know the internet. You don't think it's going to be polite because that's the internet.
Hey, I'm just. Never mind.
All right. I think I'm gonna start. Me and Ira are on the anti-Jar Jar side. Kyle and Jared over there, those scrubs, are on the pro-Jar Jar Binks side.
I think I taught you guys the word scrubs, didn't I?
Tisk tisk tisk.
I mean, I don't use it, so.
So,
Shit, it's a good word. Anyway,
the first thing I would like to say is Jar Jar is massively unpopular. Just fan consensus is so easy to see. It is not even fan consensus. General pop culture consensus is extremely negative against Jar Jar Binks on all sides. And that's difficult to contend with.
I believe that's a bandwagon fallacy
Alright.
because you're saying that the only reason he'd be good is because not a lot of people like him. Bandwagon fallacy. You're not supporting your argument. You're supporting your argument by saying that a lot of people like him, don't like him,
Now,
which is a fallacy.
what is the purpose of a fictional character, though, if not to be liked, if not to be enjoyed?
Well, the purpose is to be relevant to the storyline. The purpose should be to make the story better, and I would argue that he did make the story better.
I know I'm supposed to be on the pro side, but not all characters are built to be liked. That's why villains exist, and not all villains are made to be likable either. In a certain way.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe you're just supposed to hate him, you know?
I mean,
But that makes the story better. That makes him good.
We have two things going on here now. We have authorial intent and integrity to the plot line. I think integrity to the plot line is going to be the easier one to tackle.
Kyle, do you have anything to say?
I guess if I were to say something, I guess like as you said, integral to the storyline. I guess what is his purpose for the film? I guess that's something we could argue. Is he supposed to be? Because we do have that stuff of George Lucas saying he's so important and all this stuff. Because I've seen some stuff online. George Lucas like, oh, he's the most important. I can't do a George Lucas
I've seen
impression.
those clips.
Yeah.
He is the most important character to the whole
Wow,
Star Wars.
it's almost like he's in the room.
Wow. Wow. He's right here in front
I
of
grew a
us.
beard. You guys can't see it because you're listening, but I grew a full beard and tiny little monocle glasses.
Oh, perfect. Yes. But I guess you could say, what is his purpose? Because, like, you would say he's the comic relief of this movie, maybe? Or maybe he's more integral to the plot than we know. But I would say, I think he's integral as the comic relief for this movie. Because I think every Star Wars movie has a comic relief that works. So I would say he's integral to the plot because he is the comic relief.
Alright. So, my question there is the purpose of the comic relief about tone?
Well,
You could argue that being it's a PG movie, more of a kids movie, that having that comic relief does kind of set a little bit of a lighter tone. Now I know the whole purpose of Star Wars is not to be light and all that, but there has to be something humorous about it. That's just what attracts audiences.
at the same time, though, I mean, humor is still important to sort of balance out like, if you have a completely downer movie, then it's not going to be a very enjoyable movie.
Yeah,
But
I
at the same time, no. But I'm getting. Let me finish my point. Is that
I was about to jump in.
does Jar Jar have too much comic relief?
Hmm.
Yeah, do his comic relief add to the story and help provide the levity that the story needs, or does he just is his comic relief just a bit more random and really unnecessary and over the top
And
compared to what the story they're
mismatching
telling?
with the rather political Shakespearean tone that the rest of the saga, or not the saga, but of this particular trilogy seems to be laying out.
Well, I wouldn't say it was random per se. I would say that his comic relief, it came in appropriate context. It was relevant to the scene going on at the time.
For
You know, like when he was.
For example, when he's in the final major battle scene that's on like outside of Naboo with like all the droid tanks and such, like it's the comic relief takes place within the scene of the battle. So he's swinging from the barrel of a tank. He's accidentally dropping bombs on all the droids and also probably some of his own troops. But the comic relief matches up with the scene that he is in.
Alright, I would argue there that actually, rather than matching up with that, he is not providing relief, but undermining any of the tension or danger. If the character who is a dumb outcast is completely accidentally wiping out an entire army, I don't think that army can be a reliable threat. And throughout the rest of the entire trilogy, the battle droids are set up, or at least are pretended to be some kind of a threat. And he's the biggest sticking point to that problem.
I mean, actually, in this movie, the battle droids are a lot...
Yes.
Are actually
Yes.
a bit more serious than Jar Jar is in this case.
Also,
But in the rest of the trilogy, they actually get a bit more of an attitude.
They are the
Also,
droids
you gotta
become
watch
Jar
audio
Jar
clipping.
for the rest of the
We
trilogy.
gotta watch audio clipping, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Jar Jar didn't single-handedly accidentally wipe out the entire droid army.
That is a good
Although,
point.
while we're talking
Good
about
argument about hyperbole.
the battle,
Right.
yeah, would we really, like, let's say we had the battle, but now we don't have, alright, yeah, but now we don't have Jar Jar in the battle. Let's just take, like, Jar Jar out of the battle entirely.
Okay.
Would it really matter if, like, what would the battle have really changed at all if he was in the battle or not?
Well, there may
And
have...
if you know, his comic relief is, you know, essential to help with the, you know, levity of the battle and everything, then would he improve, say, other battles in the Star Wars saga? Like, let's go with the very first movie, the Battle of the Death Star. Would that have battle been a lot better if Jar Jar was flying an X-wing?
Well, let's say
No, because we have Porkins.
Well, it gave
Porkins dies.
having Jar Jar Binks in the battle gave us a more personal connection to the battle.
He was
Okay,
in-
so
or-
you could have just you really could have just thrown in perspective the captain or whatever, who was very intelligent, but it gave you a much more personal feel to it when you had one of the characters who's just been there throughout the entire movie to be a part of this battle.
But does that character have to be comic relief? Like,
Well, not
say
in the
you
war.
like say you switched out Jar Jar with another, or you know, had Jar Jar as a Gungan character, because as a Gungan, that's what makes his main connection to the story, because he's a Gungan, and a lot of the plot revolves around the Gungans and the Naboo, you know, in the first place.
Right.
But does he really need to be a comic relief character in order to, you know, make the story? Could they have just had a slightly more serious Gungan in his place instead?
I have an answer to that, if I may.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
don't think I would have been able to stay awake if they had added another more serious character in that movie, because every other character in that movie, except I say the only other character in that movie who has some personality, I guess there's two. I would say Qui-Gon, Liam Neeson, and then Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor. Those were the only two people I could say actually had some actual personality in that movie. And they were still a bit serious because they were Jedi and everything. I felt like Jar Jar was the one standout character who actually had some a standout personality, because everybody in that movie just felt dull, to me at least. But not saying that he was like the only standout personality, but saying that his personality had more energy than a lot of the other actors in that movie.
Okay, that is maybe that's an extremely strong argument. I keep getting surprised whenever Ira begins to make a pro Jar Jar argument. Like I'm in a college dorm with 3 guys who are all arguing for Jar Jar Binks. I've never thought this would happen.
Anything can happen.
Of course,
So-
we've been assigned these spots. So
yeah.
Although I really-
personal opinions
Right
aside, of
I
course.
mean,
NPR voices, gentlemen. We don't. Anyway, so to debate your argument there, Kyle.
Yes.
Give you time to
I would
think.
not say that it is irrelevant. I will say though that it highlights a larger issue, which is an interaction with the cast. So
Yes.
he rarely has particularly significant interactions with them. They are so zen that it's almost as if they could be responding to anyone.